Alright, admittedly, I am not too well educated on Five Nights at Freddy's lore. I barely have any experience playing the games. My best friends, though, they're die-hard fans. They've been looking forward to this movie for 8 years. So they actually did have me play the first game once. I played a couple of nights and oh my god, it was so stressful. More so than it was scary, actually. It was really effective. Cause just after a couple of nights, I was like, alright, I'm done. I can't take any more. One of you guys finish it. And that's the story of the time I played FNAF. Five Nights at Freddy's. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is a film adaptation of the widely successful indie video game franchise of the same name. I suppose for lore's sake, this movie is actually in canon with the games. Like, it actually takes place somewhere in the time frame of the first game or the first couple of games. This movie actually takes place in the year 2000, and we have Josh Hutcherson as Mike Schmidt. He's an average guy who's kind of down on his luck. He wants to get closer with his younger sister, so he takes a night job as a security guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, which is pretty much Chuck E. Cheese, but somehow even scarier. Those animatronics always scared the fuck out of me as a kid. And yeah, what Mike Schmidt did not see coming is the fact that these animatronic characters do tend to get a bit quirky at night. They're possessed by the ghosts of dead children, and now they're coming after you. And now we have our movie, which has a lot of problems. I'll say right out the gate, if you're a die-hard FNAF fan, you'll appreciate this movie a lot more, but like I said, I am not, so really let's just break this movie down. Alright, Josh Hutcherson, I know the guy's a good actor. I mean, he was great as Peter Malark in The Hunger Games. Really, Hutcherson is not the problem in this movie, it's his character. I don't know, I just found Mike Schmidt to be really boring. He didn't have a lot of personality, his line delivery I thought was really bland. There are animatronics in here. And I didn't really care about his relationship with his sister. I mean, yeah, sure, it's cool that you want to bond with your sister or whatever, but come on, we have Five Nights at Freddy stuff going on here. Let's get to that, please. Oh, we're not there yet? Alright, I'm getting bored. And I'll even give props to the kid. I mean, her acting didn't blow me away, but she wasn't horrible. In fact, she even had some creepy moments herself. Like, I'll say her acting was passable. The bare minimum of just good enough, you know? And then there's Vanessa, this police officer who comes around to help Mike out. I recognize this character from all the security breach memes. Vanessa, I'm a material girl. And this character does fit into this movie for lore's sake, but the actress who plays her, I'll just say it flat out, she's not good. Elizabeth Lail, yeah, where'd you learn to act? During a lot of her scenes, I was leaning over to my other friend who's also not a diehard FNAF fan, and we were just kind of snickering at her. Cause it's like, while Josh Hutcherson was too bland, Elizabeth Lail was like overdoing it too much. A little too overdramatic, and she just came across as cheesy, if not just plain bad. So yeah, all around the acting in this movie is not great, which is a pretty big minus point. But I want to give this movie credit where it's due. Those Jim Henson Workshop animatronics are fucking amazing. I was actually really impressed with them. They're big, they're menacing, the designs are spot on from the games, and I like seeing them on screen because they're actually really there. They're not CG. I do want to give major props to that. Get it? Because they're props. But yeah, those animatronics, they are the best thing about this movie, hands down. The rest of it though, well, you know. I found this movie for the most part to be pretty boring. And it's because, yeah, we have Five Nights at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, set within an hour and 50-minute runtime. It really feels like at least half of this movie takes place outside of that location. It focuses on character depth and growth, and Josh Hutcherson's character and his bond with his sister and Vanessa coming into play. And I don't feel like that's the reason that people would want to go see a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Whether you're a fan or not, you go to a Five Nights at Freddy's movie to see Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, like the animatronics and the creepy shit. Whenever we weren't with that, I was like, I'm falling asleep. And that's not good, especially for a horror movie, even a PG-13 one. I don't even care that this is PG-13. Megan's PG-13 and I fucking love that movie. There's even one death that happens in this movie where I was like, oh, that was pretty awesome. I liked it. And even the scenes where we are in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria and all the cool stuff's going down, I never found it overwhelmingly scary. I mean, yeah, sure, there are a lot of jump scares because that's one of the biggest things that the games are known for is their jump scares. And I'll admit that a few of them did get me. Like a loud sound and a creepy face thrown on the screen, I was like, oh, jeez, stop it. I'm really not even mad about that because, again, that's just the nature of FNAF. I'm looking forward to the Maze at Horror Nights. But even the jump scares themselves weren't that scary. I'm gonna sleep just fine after I upload this video. Like, that stress I felt playing those couple of nights in the first game was never emulated in this movie, I felt. Or at least it didn't make me feel that way. I'm sure the characters were plenty stressed, but the audience, I'd say, was not. And that's another big bummer, another big minus point there. I feel like this movie is more geared towards fans of the franchise. Because of course there is some fan fan service in this movie. Stuff where my FNAF fan friends were like, oh my god, it's that! And I was sitting there going, alright, well, good for you guys, but I don't know who that is. This is kind of like how I was with the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm a big Mario fan, I'm playing Mario Wonder right now, I love the movie, but critics tore it apart. It still made a lot of money though. This movie might be like that. Critics are tearing it apart, fans probably will like it, although who knows how much money it's gonna make given that it's also streaming on Peacock right now, so I guess we'll see about that. Lastly though, I do have to give props to the music in this movie. It was scored by the Newton brothers, and there's some pretty cool stuff in here. Some eerie, what sounds like a kid's choir. I liked it a lot. I was like, this is some pretty cool music. One bummer though is that Toreador march that's so synonymous with the games, we even heard it in the trailers, it's actually not in this movie at all. That really surprised me. I was like, well, wait a minute, that's such an iconic part of the franchise, to my understanding anyway. How could they not have it in the movie? That's just freaking weird. I don't know, maybe it's a licensing thing. That wouldn't make sense though, because it was in the trailers, so I just don't know. Guys, in the end, Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie, I feel like I could watch it again and have some fun with it if I just skip all the boring scenes that are not in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, of which there are a lot. The characters were boring, the acting wasn't great. I like seeing all the cool FNAF shit, but it wasn't scary, but it was cool. I feel like it would be more fun to play the games. Fans will like this movie more, that's just a fact. One of my friends who's the diehard fan, he walked out going, I loved it. Great man, power to ya. But as for me, for Five Nights at Freddy's, I will say, wait until you can stream this movie online. Which I realize is ironic since you can do that right now. So what I'm really saying is it's not worth the movie ticket price, just watch it at home. You might have some fun with it. So, Five Nights at Freddy's. Have you seen this movie? What are your thoughts on it? And if you're a fan, what's your favorite game of the franchise? Or your favorite animatronic character? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!